Hello, and welcome to another one of Big Herb's tactics, tips and tricks videos. The last one was very well received, looking at how to build a tactic when you first enter the club, first few days of the club. We have now played through to December, and we are looking at the transfer window and how to assess your team. So if you're going to look to go out to transfer market, who should you be buying? Which positions need replacing, and how has your team performed? Are there individuals in there that maybe you thought haven't played so well, but when you actually look at the stats, they've not played too badly, or vice versa, someone you thought is your star man is actually not as good as some of the other players. The trick to doing that is to look at each of the positions on their own in solo, so you can really hone in on those stats and really go through it. So this is literally getting into the stats using some selection screens to understand your team's performance. So let's get into the game. So you will see here we are on the 30th of December. Ordinarily, if you were doing this, you'd probably do it a couple of weeks before the transfer window opens, so you can get your scouts out looking for those specific players that you want to go and replace. So you want those people you want to replace in your team, in your formation. In my West Ham Director's Challenge save, I do not have control of this, so it doesn't really matter when I do this. I can just hope that Martin Glover, my director of football, listens to me or listens to this video and goes out and buys the players I need. But for your purposes, try and do it a couple of weeks at least before the transfer market opens, so you can get your scouts out looking for those specific players. But we will jump straight into the screen view. So as you can see here, I have actually got it set up on the defender view, but we will look at goalies first. So what I will do is take you position by position, the things I look at, and it will be a setup of screens. The reason we don't have a goalie one, which is, I will go into here, is that you usually don't have a lot. There's two goalies, so you're only comparing two players. So it's just as easy to go into reports, stats, and have a look at them here. So you can see where your players played, especially with the goalies, and these are the stats we want to look at here. So let's start at the beginning, shall we? Adrian has been our goalkeeper. He has played the majority of our appearances, so this should be quite an easy one to look at. But what we want to look at here, okay, shots faced, shots saved, goals conceded, and how many shots is the goalie holding. Shots saved here, up at 80% is very good actually. That's a very good stat. I'm actually surprised to see that. We've only conceded 34 goals. It's a very good shot stopper is Adrian. When you then look at the shots held, only down at 59 out of the full shots saved. That's not a good stat there. So what he's actually finding is he's stopping the shots but not holding them, so parrying them, which we might want to have a look at, seeing if we can train out. It might be something we can work on with Adrian to try and improve that part of his game, so he holds the ball better. But he is, I think, 30 something, so ideally I think we'll just replace him. But so that goes through the shots there. You want to look at shots faced, your shot save percentage. Obviously, if this is massive, you need to look at your defenders as well, because there's getting too many shots on target. Goals conceded, and then this held. You really want your goalie holding on. You've also got down here clean sheets versus games played, so it's not doing too bad. It's just shy of a 50% clean sheet ratio. And you've got the little performance down here, shots saved per game and goals conceded per game. So that's one part of the goalies, and that's a shot stopping part of the goalie stats. We then move on to the passes. This is distribution of your goalies. Where you can have more, with the tactic, have more of an effect on this. So Adrian has attempted 812 passes. He has a 37% success rate. That's not great, which means he is looking to pump the ball. I know we were playing long ball football earlier in the season, so I'd expect him to try and be piling that ball out to the winger, so I wouldn't expect that to be too high. You need to work out, dependent on your tactic, whether that's good enough. If you are playing long ball football and you want your goalie to counter, so get the ball out quickly, you'll have to expect that to be low, because he will just be punting the ball up there, expecting defenders and attackers to challenge for it. If you are playing out from the back, you'd expect it to be much higher, because you should be distributing to your fullbacks or your centre backs, and that should be up closer to the 70-80%. He's made no key passes, but we wouldn't really expect that, and no assists. So that's really just one for distribution. And then here tackles, we wouldn't really expect tackles from the goalie, unless he's maybe playing the sweeper keeper role, where you'd want to see how efficient he is in this role. So what you want to do is have a look at these stats. So 79, 37, and then flick in. We'll just take me straight to the next one now. At your other goalie. So here, Dan Randolph only played 2 games for us, so he's not going to be great to compare with. But again, if you look actually percentage of shots held, a little bit higher than Adrian's. Shot saved, 87%, still great, but he's only faced 30 shots, so not a great comparison. I haven't really played Randolph that much. Same with passes. But yeah, it's kind of, when you haven't played them enough, it's a bit pointless the one-on-one review. So that's the goalies. Hopefully that makes sense. I haven't really set up a view for the goalies, only because, like I said, there's only 2 of them. You usually have a favourite. So it's just checking that performance and looking at that distribution, that passing stat, and does it work with your tactic. If you're playing it short, you'd expect that passes complete to be much higher. Is your goalie giving the ball away, essentially, from the beginning? And that's something you can affect with the tactics. If we then move on to defenders, so you will see here I have set up a new view, which I've just called the defender view, which goes through and selects those stats that I think are most important for defenders. And I will run you through this selection screen. Like I say, if the views, you do want the views, please let me know and I'll upload them to Steam, so you guys can save the effort of not having to set them up. I have to say, I have to give credit to Second Yellow Card. He went through and did a lot of this stuff in his AFC Wimbledon save, I do believe. And it's something that I had been doing beforehand, but he definitely went into detail a bit more, which has led to me fine tweaking and tuning these squad screens. So we have in here, just keep in here the standard views, the recommendation, the position, the player's name. We then have the appearances, the number of starts. This will just show you if he's a favourite player. He's always starting or he's coming on for the bench. That may make you view the stats slightly differently. The amount of minutes they get per game. Mistakes leading to goal, big one for defenders. Are they making a lot of mistakes that are leading to goals going in? Big problem if you've got a defender that seems to make a lot of mistakes. Mistakes overall, that should give you an average of where you expect players to play. You can again see if a defender is making mistakes, maybe then covering for them and they're not leading to goals, but that's an early indicator that there's a problem there. You've got interceptions, the vision of the players, you're coming in and collecting that ball before their attackers are getting it or their wingers are getting the ball. Key tackles, tackles completed, tackle completion ratio, and I think it's tackles per game. Yeah, that foursome, that will tell you how's that defender performing when tackling, essentially. Is he making the key tackles? Is he getting them in when they're required? Is he getting them in often? And is he getting them in? Is he winning the majority of his tackles? You can see, you kind of get an average for the players in those different positions, which will have some relevance to your tactic. Again, like if you have fullbacks and they're running forward, they won't be doing as much tackling, but you'd expect them to be on par. So you can kind of set your own benchmarks for these and always look to improve season on season. We then have fouls committed, yellow cards and red cards. Always good to keep an eye on this. Have you got a rogue defender who goes out there and clatters people, and is that something you can train out of his game? And then move on to headers. Key headers 1 per 90 minutes and headers 1%, as well as aerial challenges attempted. So how many times are they going for the header? Are they winning the header? How many key headers, when it really matters, are they making? And just that consistency stat. And then a little bit on passing. So we've got the fullbacks. Our fullbacks do bomb forward in our stats, so we do have the cross completion in here. So we have key passes. Do we have ball playing defenders that need to make passes? Pass completion ratio. We don't want the defenders giving the ball away. They can make nice simple passes. They don't have to be key one, but don't give the ball away. Cross completed for the wing backs, so we can see how they get on. Dribbles per game, again for the wing backs mainly, or maybe ball playing central defenders. And just the game win ratio. Are we winning games when they're in the side? Because that's sometimes an indicator that this player is good for the team and may not have individually brilliant stats, but maybe does some covering and helps get by. It's just a nice little one to tack on the end. So in this screen, let's actually go through and have a look at defenders' performances. And this is the first time I've really looked at it in depth, so I will run through with you guys my kind of performance. So you can kind of just filter along the top here. Take your appearances to start. Okay, so Byron so far has played 28 games, Bonner 27, 23. So we're looking at around that 20 area is a good marker for looking at people's stats. Some of the guys we've used a little bit less often. Aaron Cresswell was injured for a lot of the season, but interesting to see Aaron Cresswell then for the 5 games he has been in back against Musaka in that left back position. Who's performing better? Minutes per game should really reflect that. Goal mistakes. So Byron, Cresswell, and Arbalo, so our fullbacks are the ones that are making the mistakes that are leading to goals. Byron is young, so we may think he would make more mistakes as he learns. We might need to give him a tutor just to try and build up that experience side of his game. And as you can see here, reflected in the actual mistakes, Sam Byron makes a lot of mistakes. So I'd expect to see in here he is decision making 10. Yeah. So that highlights straight away, if you've got your little board and your pen and paper, if you're looking for training tips, Byram, he's a young player, great potential. We need to work on his decision making, whether that be through training or tutoring. So we mark that one down. At the moment, we don't have another right back really, so he's our only option. We could bring in, we've got Arbeloa, but we could bring in someone to replace him and have him play underneath. But so he could be marked right back. Possibly, we might definitely need to do some training with Sam Byram. The rest of the mistakes that you see fairly on average. And when you get down here, obviously we're saying under that 20 games, they're not really playing, so it's difficult to judge them. So interceptions, it's a surprise here. So Ogbonna making way above the interceptions that Winston Reid makes. And there we go. So he is on the ball playing. His best role is a ball playing defender. So it may be that actually we look to change that in our formation because he is making those interceptions. And we should be letting him do that. The tactics should give him the freedom to go and make more of those. Winston Reid coming in at 400, very good as well. And then we got our right and left backs, making left less as we'd expect because they are more attacking in this formation. But good to see both central defenders bringing in interceptions there. Key tackles. Oh, Masuka making the most key tackles from out on the wing. That is interesting. With Reid and Ogbonna coming in, so when Masuka is playing out on the left, he is making the tackles. Tackles completed, Byram and Masuka. So the most tackles being made are coming in from those wings. So that's an interesting one to think about the formation, that when those guys are out there and we do have them play more attacking, they are actually the first line of defence a lot of the time before it gets to these central defenders, especially out on that right hand side. Tackle completion ratio. Norfolk's had one start, so we'll ignore that one for now. Winston Reid up there were 83%. Aaron Cresswell 82%, so consistent tackler. Only played 5 games, so won't have as many interceptions or key tackles. But you can see for the games he has played, 82%. That's a very good ratio for a left back. Ogbonna making the interceptions, but maybe not so good at tackling. Maybe that leads again more towards him playing as a ball playing defender, or maybe we need to just work on that tackling with him. What is his stats on tackling? 13, so it's not bad. But interesting to see. Anyone terrible? No one. So Masuka 60%, very interesting. Makes the key tackles, but his average is very low for tackles won. Tackles per game, who's getting in and getting stuck in? That kind of reflects the other ones. Actually, is that tackles per game? Yeah. Ogbonna down there at the bottom does not like to make tackles. When he does well. Makes a lot of interceptions, but maybe that's the sort of trade-off. He gets in front of the ball without having to make the tackle. So yeah, again, we'll have a look at that for our formation. Bear that in mind for building the tactic and refining as you get to the sort of like mid-year stage. Fouls, Sam Byram again, highest on there, links in with the mistakes. So maybe just need to work on him, work on his mental stats. He is young, 23 years old, so we just need to work on that decision. Yeah, the rest of the stats are looking not too bad. So maybe work more on that decision making, how we can get him to bring down that mistakes, bring down that tackles. No one really going too bad on the yellow cards or red cards. We'd expect as we are. We have seen the left and right back picking up the most, and even on fouls are they picking up the most as well. Yeah, Ogbonna's not a great tackler, it would appear. Now let's look at the headers. This one favours the central defenders usually. Yep, Ogbonna and Reid. So Ogbonna maybe not be a great tackler. Good header. Yeah, stay up there. Headers 1 per 90 minute. The ratio. James Collins only played 2 games, but 93% on there. So Ogbonna, Reid. Reid's not so great on the consistency. And Ogbonna making challenges. So he does make aerial challenges. Does not like make challenges on the floor. And in team conceded per 90 minutes. These ones are just to see if there's anything interesting that pops up there. You expect to see all your defenders on average with each other, but maybe one or two of them pop out differently. Key passes, Masuka, Arbeloa. We expect maybe some more yet from the left and right back because they do get forward. So pass completion rate there. We'd like to see that high. We don't want to see anyone too low. What have we got? Winston Reid 61%. Oh, Bonner down at 61% as well. For a ball playing defender, that's not so good. But yeah, we don't want to see the defenders giving away the ball. Let's have a look at cross completed just for the guys on the left and right. So Masuka, very good, 16%. I think you don't expect these to be very high. Anything above 10 is usually quite good for cross completion. So to have Arbala and Masuka playing up that high is great. Sambayo needs some work. Might get him just to play, just to tutor off Arbala. He is 33. He's probably not going to play. His decisions are 15, concentration 19. That sounds like a good tutor opportunity there. So that's the defenders. So we take away from, if we just recap on sort of what I've picked up rambling for the last 10 minutes. Bio makes mistakes. Could be a possible replacement in there. Maybe need someone with a bit more strength in the mental stats to bring down those fouls and those percentages. Interception wise, Ogbonna far and out away the greatest interceptor of the ball, but not great at tackling. So do we need to work on his role within the team to let him get out there and intercept more, come in front of the ball? I think one of the roles, the shot stopper or container, I can't remember what they are, one of those will fit to coming out, and I think it's stopper winning that ball. So maybe we let him do that. We let Winston Reid sit back and defend, just to give him the freedom to build that stat if he's the strongest at it. And then yeah, I think we really saw that match between Cresswell and Masuka. It'd be interesting to see them longer term to see which one's better. Masuka seems to be making more key tackles, and but tackling ratio not so good, but good cross completion. So we'll judge and see how that goes. But that's the defender view. Okay, so don't want to make these videos too long and boring. Obviously, it's me just rambling for a while. So that's goalkeepers and defenders. Hopefully that gives you an idea of how I set up the screens and how I look at the team and use that to judge tactical performance going forward. Next video I shall bring you the midfielders and wingers, the front men, to really get the understanding of the attacking spirit out of the tactics and the players, to see who we should be looking to replace or maybe train up and move around. So hopefully you enjoyed the goalkeepers and defenders edition of this tactic and tips video. If you did, please do give us a like. Give me a comment just to let me know if you enjoyed it, if you think the content's great. If you want to see those views, I can upload them to Steam, so you can just import them straight into your screen. You don't have to worry about playing around. But it's good to have a play with the stats and screens and use different ones to see how you judge your team's performance. Like I said, I use this every half season or so, usually before transfer windows, just to judge what the team's doing. Definitely do it at the end of the season as a rundown of the team and how they've performed, how we think they've performed versus how they've actually performed stats wise. So thank you very much for the view. I am always eternally grateful for the view. Please do subscribe if you want to see more content from the series. Go and check out the Directors Challenge series that I've got going on here with West Ham. I can not put any of this into action because my director of football buys all the players for me, but I hope it's a good series. I think people are enjoying it, so get over there and give that a view as well. But if not, I shall see you next time, like I say, for midfielders and attackers. So have a good day, and bye bye.